this is wow.
So
Boring people.
Is this
This is the not improvise. This
internal?
Is,
Isn't that what we said?
Yeah.
Boring
yeah,
people internal?
Boring people internal. This is very interesting to me. This is a whole new setup here.
Yep.
We're out in a studio per se. If you guys watch my TikTok, you guys will see a little background view of what it looks like sitting right here.
Right.
So if you're on my podcast, you'll see this, or if you're on my TikTok, you'll see this. I mean, really, I can't thank enough people for watching us. I mean, one of our YouTube videos has 150 views, and, I was talking to Eddie. I'm like, it's not that many views, but he kind of put it in perspective. He should say, like, if 150 people were in this room right now, you'd say that's a lot of people.
100%.
So, it's really hard to not get caught up in some of, like, the number things when it comes to this.
Right.
But, I mean, wow, it's really impressive. I'm really happy with it.
Well, I'm glad that we're able to move now.
Now
this is cool.
We're gonna be able to get a few guests coming on here.
For sure.
I definitely have a few planned that I'd love to get on here. Yeah. I mean, great talkers, great people, with even more interesting stories than I could ever tell you, honestly.
Yep.
But this is something new to me. I feel like this is a step in a great direction. We wanted to go with a recorder, which for some of you who don't know,
a handy recorder.
Yeah, I'll let Ben get into the technicals because he's my sound guy
engineer
here.
Right, hold on. Let me get the exact model up. It was a Zoom PodTrack P4, I believe. Let me get a fact check. Correct. Zoom PodTrack P4. And it's basically a little... It's battery powered. It is battery powered, by the way. I told you it wasn't, but it was. It's battery powered. You can power it from a laptop, and it's just a handy recorder. It takes up to 4 microphone inputs, and it records it onto either the computer that you're plugged into, or an SD card if you're running on battery. And then you just bring that. If it's on an SD card, you of course
you can just
put it onto a computer, but then you have the audio, and you can record wherever you want.
That's awesome. And
so that was the original plan, but we figured it out. We got it.
We were able to make the setup of ours mobile.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, somehow that surge protector literally has the perfect amount of ports. So we just need a surge protector. I mean, we probably won't.
I have a lot, and I have a lot of big ones.
We probably won't bring all the mics or all the lighting if we go anywhere. But I think it's something unique. It's very bright now.
Well, I love it. I mean, a lot of people like, Brian and Alvy like to complain about it, but I don't know. It puts me like, it keeps me checked.
It keeps me awake.
It keeps me like, okay, I'm in a podcast. I'm
I
here.
Have to, like I can't just go to sleep here, right?
And it's not, it's not a conversation. It's a podcast.
Yeah, it's a podcast. And I think that's something a lot of people get misconstrued is they think they can just come on a podcast, right? And, they think like, oh, I could be on your podcast. Let me come on your podcast. You'd shut down on my podcast. You look at the lights, you look at the camera, and quite frankly, I think a lot of people would be pretty scared to come on a podcast.
I agree.
I mean,
well, and I feel like a lot of people have the wrong idea of what a podcast is.
And what would you say a podcast is?
Well, a podcast is in my opinion, a planned, documented dialogue with an end goal. That's and that's the difference between just a podcast and a conversation. A conversation is just what we're having right now.
Yeah, just
right. We're we're on a podcast having a conversation, right?
Well, okay. I think a conversation is part of a podcast, right? And so with that, there's different levels to conversation, and I think a podcast being on top, meaning the fact that you can have a very friendly conversation with someone. Oh, how's your day? What are you doing?
Right.
How's work, right? Then you get into a deeper conversation. Maybe you'd have with a really good friend of yours, maybe a family member, maybe you go into politics. You get into some of that more opinionated kind of matter, and then you go into a podcast, which is a specifically thought out, flowed conversation that is carefully directed in a way that is entertaining for not only the people talking, but the people listening.
Right.
And what a lot of people don't understand in their conversation is that it's very hard to captivate someone's attention.
Mm-hmm.
And in a normal conversation, it's very difficult to do so. And a lot of people don't have the skills to captivate people's attention.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest difference is people who podcast have this thing about them that not only are they charismatic, but what they are saying is interesting and how they're saying it is interesting.
Right.
So it all comes down to tonality and all of that. So,
Kyle.
Yep.
Little spin-off topic here. Did you hear the new Kanye song?
I did.
Do you like it?
I like Kanye's verse.
Yeah, me too.
Call me
I like
anti-Semitic, but I just fucked a Jewish bitch.
Right.
So funny. I love Kanye. I think he's hysterical. You know, I didn't
dig the sound.
I didn't
dig the vibe.
I digged his rapping. That was about it. Out of that song.
I liked his lyrics and I liked his flow. But, what do you expect out of this album coming up? As a Kanye fan,
I expect Kanye. Yeah, look, there's nothing you can go in and to expect. My biggest expectation, yeah, is that Kanye is gonna do something that will not be in the normal. It will be something unique. It'll be interesting and almost undaily listenable, and that's what I think that album will be.
Undaily listenable.
But I think it'll be beautiful. Like, I think it'll be an album where, like, you can go back to it, and every so often you'll listen to it and be like, damn, that's a really, really good album.
Right.
But I couldn't listen to this every day.
Right.
Because I think it'll be too far ahead because Kanye is just in his own mental state right now. And I think that when Kanye gets to a state like this, he ends up becoming he releases some of the best things he's ever done.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not saying that this album will be the best thing that he's ever done, but you never know.
You never know.
And so I think the reason why we have the opinions we have now about current music is because we've gone through a history with artists, and we've gone through a history with these songs, right?
Right.
So in my opinion, a lot of people base how much they like a song solely based off of not what's actually in the song, but how it all sounds as a symphony.
Yes.
And I think that memories also strongly correlate to how people feel about a song. And so when you take things like this, people are going to make the immediate statement that Rodeo's better than Utopia, for example, right? Or Astroworld's better than Utopia, right? And I'm not saying I agree with either one of them or disagreeing, but what I'm saying is you have a memory with Rodeo. You have a memory with 90210. You have a memory with Coffee Bean. You have some sort of memories with this song that you probably hold dearly to you. And because of that, you're going to be a little bit more favorable that way. And this,
music is subjective. As much as it sucks, it is.
It is, 100%.
Right? I can't hate on somebody who listens to Ice Spice and Sexy Red religiously. I can't.
It's hard
because to them, it might mean something.
Well,
which is crazy. No, but it's true.
I get that. Ice Spice and Sexy Red, I'm not going to get in your head about.
Right.
Lil Nas X and Doja Cat, I might get on your head about because they're just openly satanic. Like, you're a bad person if you openly listen to... Nah, that's too general.
See?
You're supporting someone who is promoting horrible things, and for that, I think that's a really bad thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but...
Because you're influenced by everything. So if you're specifically choosing to listen to someone who's going to put demonic thoughts into your brain, obviously. I just don't think that's good.
I agree.
That's just me. I love rap. I think a lot of rappers say horrible things in their raps, but...
Well, yeah. People don't know what they like.
I'd agree.
People don't know what music they like. They just listen to... I don't know. I found myself in a funk like that as a producer, though. You know, for like 2 years, two and a half maybe years. Was really like my main industrial phase as a producer. It it was like a 2-year span, and it was whenever this whole underground stuff was coming up, right? Autumn and summers, Yeet was just coming up. So I was like, okay, this is big. I got to get on this. So, you know me, I'm making TikToks. I'm making beats every day. I'm making these. But I don't like it. But I'm like, this is the next big thing. I'm seeing people that I know getting signed and flown at, like, bro, like, literally the first person I ever collabed with on YouTube got signed to Internet Money and flown out to LA. Just the first, like, I randomly stumbled across him. I was like, yo, let's collab, bet.
That's crazy.
Bro, and then he, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, I gotta do this shit. So I looked in. I didn't like what I was making, bro. I didn't like it. And I was like, it got to a point where I had to stop. And for like 2 months, I didn't make any beats. Not a single one. Not because I didn't want to. But like, I was like, I don't know what I want to make. Like, I'm really good at making a Yeet beat, but I don't like it. I don't want to make that.
What do you like?
Well, this is what happened. So I stopped making music for quite a while. 2 months is quite a while for me for not making music. So I stopped for a little bit, and bro, I just started to explore. I was like, let me just explore. Let me find samples, even though I'm not going to sample. Let me just like look. Let me just actually. It was even before I was thinking of sampling. That's how long ago this was. Like, bro, I wasn't even sampling. I was like, bro, let me just look. Let me just open my mind up completely. And, you know, I started talking to my uncle more, who sprinkled some old school into that mix.
And so, timeline-wise, at what point in your life was this?
Let's see. Let's get an exact date of when I posted my first TikTok on my producer account. This is gonna be like really the best way to check, I think. Like mid-sophomore year, I think.
Mid-sophomore year, give or take?
I would say that.
So for you guys, that's about a year and a half ago, probably about 2 years now.
Right.
And
yeah, about a year and a half ago.
About a year and a half, 2 years.
Oh,
ago.
this is from 2021.
So 2 years ago.
Yep, 2 years ago.
So as you were saying.
So, well, through curiosity, I've really found what I like. And now, I completely changed the way I make music. I almost feel like I pulled an Andre 3000. You know, I don't give the people what they want. I don't make beats to sell, not on like at the scale nearly I used to. Maybe not the scale that I should if I want to be a producer, right? But I make the music that I like, and I make music that helps me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whenever I have something and it's like, bro, I need to get this off my chest. I need to address this. I need to convey this message. Now I don't even hesitate. Back then it used to be, you know, I would try to go find something else, or I would try to listen to music. But now, bro, I sit down and I just make it, and it flows.
So, I listen to a lot of podcasts, as you know,
right.
And a very recurring theme when it comes to a lot of creatives, as we would say, whether it's a podcaster, influencer, singer, rapper, producer, whatever it is. A lot of the thing was they never wanted to go with the flow and, you know, not go against the grain per se, but follow their own pursuit, their own happiness in what they're doing, their own enjoyment, their own love and passion for it. And I think to be able to step aside from the flow of the ocean per se and to break its current is impressive. And I feel like that would deter a lot of people away from... I don't think a lot of people would take that step.
I think Kanye West said it best. Don't stare at money too long. It's Medusa. Right? I think a lot of these people, they'll start making music. And and it's a real passion. They have a passion for music. That's why they want to be a musician or a rapper or a producer, right? So that they start and they're getting somewhere, right? Boom, record deal. 30 mil. This is a lot of money, right? Fuck it, I'll sign the record deal and I got 30 mil. Oh, there's a lot more money here than just 30 mil. There's a lot more opportunities. Oh, I'm in this. Fuck the music. Money.
Exactly.
So then they're like, okay, I'm just going to be told what to put out so I get paid the most. And then the passion's out the door, the craft is out the door, and now you have an industry plan.
Exactly.
And they're, with a lot of money.
And, look to definitely not their discredit. I mean, good for them. They're making a lot of fucking money.
And it's on them.
It's great. It's awesome. I think that there's people who have passions for different things. And when you follow your passion, the most organic and the most parallel way with the way you really, really enjoy and the way you picture, I think that's when you'll be the most successful. And when you, I understand if it's really hard to understand what I'm saying, because I think Kanye explains how I think best. I think in multiple ways, and I'm trying to make it all just make sense at one time, and it's really difficult for me to do. And what I'm trying to say is when you are chasing your passion,
right,
and you're chasing what you love and you're putting what you love into your passion, you will create and be the best at what you are doing. And when you take that away and you chase money per se, let's say money is not your passion, it's not what you're meant to do, it's not, I don't want to say meant to do, but it's not your true passion.
Right. You'll
never be the best at what you do because of it.
Right. Well, and I think it all comes down. I think all of this comes down to what you put in the universe. Whatever you put in the universe is exactly what you get out of it.
I completely agree. And, luck definitely plays a factor. 100% luck plays a factor. You have to be lucky to be successful. It is absolutely necessary.
Do you think you have to be lucky to be successful?
Yes. Yeah. You need, by some sort of stroke of luck, you need to be lucky to be successful. My luck, as I'd say, is I have a mentor who is an extremely profitable trader at 17, or was extremely profitable at 16. I have another mentor who created 36 restaurants as a chain, as a business mentor, and I now have another mentor and friend who is a very successful businessman, venture capitalist. And so, by the luck of this, actually, my friend and mentor, Derek Fay, he told me that there's what breaks up luck. So there's nothing really in this universe that is, right? Something has to add up to that for that to exist, right?
Right.
And so for luck to exist, you must have preparation for any opportunity that exists.
Right.
And that is what luck is being prepared for an opportunity that is to come.
I disagree.
Look, the world will bring you things. Doesn't matter who you are. The world will bring you some sort of gift. If you are not prepared to receive that gift, you cannot obtain that opportunity. And the world, depending on what it wants to bring to you, that is considered luck.
That makes sense.
I am prepared to go to the casino. This is a horrible example, but it's just going to make a lot of sense in people's brain.
Right.
I am going to go to the casino with $5,000 that I do not give a flying fuck about. Okay? I am prepared to lose this money. Okay? I go to the casino, I win. Because in my brain, this money's already gone.
Right.
I'm prepared to lose it, so I don't care. I'm willing and prepared to place my bet on anything. And when the opportunity comes for me to put that money down, and I think I'm going to win here, then that would be my luck. My luck is that, man, I got this really good hand. The cards out are perfect. I put my money down, and by that, you executed on the luck that you have obtained. My luck is that I have met these people, and I was prepared to not only be friends with them, but to receive their gifts of knowledge. And when you think that people can be lucky too, is people will come into your life luckily. There's many people who have come into my life that I'm extremely lucky to have because of the knowledge I've gained. And I'm sure there's plenty of people the same way. You are
100%.
lucky. You are super lucky to have the uncles you do.
Yeah.
The one in Atlanta who's
Yep.
met many people and puts you on music
Actually.
and helps you with music. And your other uncle who's a DJ.
Yeah.
I mean, that's extremely lucky for your passion.
Speaking of seeing people, I got a text today, 10:14 a.m. from my Uncle Jeremy here in Atlanta. Shout out Uncle Jeremy. So tomorrow at the Falcons game, I think he works in that thing. I don't know. He's always moving around. He's
Okay.
always changing. But he does food stuff. He does catering.
Oh, that's lit.
We are having a huge performance. Luda, Big Boy from Outkast, Jeezy, T.I. But he'll be in the green room.
Oh, that's
So,
lit.
He'll be chilling with him.
That's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
To chill with people like that is really cool.
It's crazy, bro.
You know, my biggest goal on this is to strike the iron while it's hot, per se, right? And so the best time to take any risk is younger in your life. The older you get,
Yep.
the more responsibilities you have. That's just life.
Yep.
When you're 40 years old and you have kids and a wife and you have to make a certain amount to support your kids and all that, it's a lot harder to take
Yep.
a risk. It's a lot
Yep.
harder. And right now, my whole goal is to take those risks and leap head first. So one of those things is being a little bit more vulnerable on social media, per se, right? And I'm going to use the word vulnerable, but it's more open, really.
Right.
So what I mean by this is my content, I am projecting who I want to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I need to project who I am. And so on my TikTok, I give a lot of advice and a lot of that, but I really want to start tapping into maybe some of the more negative feelings that we have, right?
Like,
What are we really feeling as a teenager who's going through a lot in life? And I'd say I feel like I do pretty well for myself, but I want to share the struggles I have going through this. So for today, for example, my TikTok is the anxiety college. I guess college is stressing me is what it's called, right?
yeah,
But it's
this
the anxiety that college has now caused me,
Mm-hmm.
because of this college application process.
Right.
I'm anxious to see what schools I'm going to go into. I'm anxious to see where my life is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a major decision to have 18-year-old kids with not even fully developed brains
Yep.
to make a decision that's going to impact their life so greatly.
Crazy. Did you get your physical letters yet of any of the schools that you got accepted to?
I've only heard back from
FAU?
FAU.
Have you gotten the letter?
I don't even know.
The only two I've been accepted to is FAU and FIU. And I got 2 letters the other day, and it's just instructions on like
What to do?
when the terms start and stuff.
Did you apply summer for both?
Yeah.
See, that's what caused it. I talked about it in my TikTok. My family was just in town for Thanksgiving, and we were talking about like a trip that we wanted to do in the summer, and it'd be interfering if I started summer term anywhere. So that was the first moment where I'm just like, fuck. That kind of sucks.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to thug it out, but I'm not really happy doing a summer term.
Neither am I, honestly, but if it gives me a higher chance to get into school, it is what it is.
No,
But
I'll thug it out, and you'll finish earlier, technically.
well, I'll finish really early.
Yeah.
I'm actually graduating with my associate's degree before I graduate high school
That's insane.
by 3 weeks, dude.
That's insane.
3 weeks.
That is insane. Dude, I already got my schedule for next semester
Yeah.
done. It's done.
That's
All my
about it.
classes already. I'm done.
I'm
just gotta
done.
put my feet up and chill.
I just gotta send in my I gotta do a lot of studying for the finals coming up. But I gotta
Where do you check the final schedule? Like the schedule for
it's on the
finals?
syllabus.
Okay.
For each class.
Okay.
Bet. But I have a few tests coming up that I'm a little calc, bro. Calc is scaring me, dude.
Kyle, you know what's crazy?
What's up?
This whole semester I haven't had one test.
No way, dude. Oh, 'cause you're not taking a math, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's crazy.
Well, I will next semester, but I guess I got by pretty easy this semester.
And then I'm going to take
No
the
testing.
financial literacy test online for FSW. Little nice.
Very nice.
Little nice play. And then that basically, I think I have to send an A score in, maybe. I have to check with my advisor at FSW. But just have to make sure I'm all good on those fronts. And then that's basically it. I graduate May 3rd, and then I have another graduation May 24th.
That's my birthday.
May 24th?
24th.
You're
my
graduating
18th birthday.
on your birthday. You're graduating. Bro, see, if it was one day later, you could have said I graduated high school at 17.
I know.
But, like, then you have to be like, yeah, I graduated at 18.
On my 18th birthday, though. That's
that's
like
kinda
the
lit,
latest
though.
day
That's
of all
kinda lit.
time.
Do you know
That's
what
like
time you were born?
literally the midnight. Exactly midnight.
Oh, so you don't even got hope.
Nah, but bro, I mean, that's crazy. That's like the littest day of all time.
Just
It's gonna be the
birthday,
littest day of all time that
graduation,
I've lived so far in my life.
Graduation,
Come on,
birthday.
graduation parties, birthday
That's so lit.
parties.
That's
oh my
so
god,
lit.
bro.
I'm low-key kind of scared, though, because from there, it's June, and then July we go.
June we go, bro.
June?
It's mid-June, bro.
No way, it's mid-June. No, that's summer A.
Oh, okay.
That's got to be like summer.
not
I
doing
think
that.
there's summer A and summer B.
Okay, all right.
But I don't know how summer B is going to be. Like, I might just take the full summer and be like, yeah, whatever. Because the summer B might
just
be
do
really
summer-
short.
Yeah?
Bro, that's like 3 weeks for an entire course.
What if I just did that bitch online, though?
I think you have to go in person. It's
For-
something that
okay.
you have to check with the school.
Okay.
But that's why, like, some of the schools, I wish I didn't apply for summer.
Yeah, same.
But,
It is
you
what
know.
it is. You gotta thug it out, you know?
But a lot of my friends applied summer, so
Yeah.
I kind of just hope I go to school with one person I know. If I can go to school with one person I know, I think I'll be chilling.
Facts.
Because if I can
That's
go
all
to,
I need, bro.
like,
Or
I
just
just need-
someone that I know to be there.
yeah, like, I just need one
That's it.
person to go to school with, and then I'm like, we'll build a friend group around that. That's vibe.
Yeah.
And then,
I just need something to work around, something to work with.
yeah.
Yeah.
I need like some sort of base or
some
something.
scrap.
Yes, something. I need
Yeah.
something. But I completely have no clue what school I want to go to yet. I don't know anything. Even out of the schools I applied to, I really don't know what schools I want to go to. So, FAU is pretty low down there. I mean, yeah, like, it's a cool school. I'm happy I got in. At least it's college, right?
Yeah.
You
got in.
I got in, like, great.
You
Like,
can go to
I'm locked in.
college, right.
I'm locked in somewhere. FIU, I think that's cool because it's Miami,
Right.
but I don't know if I want to go to FIU just yet.
Mm-hmm.
USF, I just seen the area in which it's in. I don't really like that, but other than the fact of that, I mean, it's Tampa, big school, kind of what I'm looking for.
Big vibes.
University of Tampa, really small school, but literally right downtown. I was just talking to
It's
a friend
small?
of mine. You know the guy with the CLS that we took pictures with?
Yep.
So he goes there.
Mm.
And so I was talking to him because I saw him for Cars on Sunday.
Mm.
And I asked him, and I'm like, how do you like the school? He's like, it's awesome. I mean, I could walk to all of my classes within 5 minutes.
Wow.
That part of it's kind of cool. But there's nothing, there's so much to do, right? Like, maybe it's not like the whole university because it's a small university, right?
Right.
It's whatever. But outside of the school, there's a lot going on. You're literally downtown Tampa, the most
Yeah.
active part. I mean, you can literally do anything just about.
Yep.
So that part's really, really cool in my opinion. And then there's UCF.
Mm-hmm. I did not apply there.
So why not? Just don't want
just
to.
not feeling it. Gut feeling.
Gut feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to go visit it. I want to see what it's like. I think a lot of the schools I'll probably be turned off of
Mm-hmm.
just because I'm not gonna like the vibe.
Yep.
But I think going and visiting because you don't know the vibe of the people.
Yeah.
Like you want to go to a school you vibe with. That's why FAU and UCF are kind of like schools for me because I don't know if I fit that vibe.
Really do not want to go to FAU.
Like I don't
That
know
is
if I
like
fit
last
that vibe.
resort. if I
Yeah,
have
FAU
to.
is like super last resort. Same thing with FGCU.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, for me it is because
You want to get the fuck out of here?
no, I love Naples. I
Oh.
love Naples. If I could spend my life here, I probably would.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna live here if I
Um,
can at some point.
Yeah, at some point I'll for sure live here.
Yeah.
But I how do I say this?
What's up?
I have 2 years in college,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I really just want to be somewhere else for those 2 years. I want to be like, I think I'll like the depression that college gives me. And I think that's a very grueling thought. But I think...
Why do you think the college will give you depression?
I think...
That's a strange assumption.
So to some degree... Well, I don't mean like depression, like mental
But like just a
illness
shit
and
ton
all
of
of
stress.
that. But like, it's going to give me stress. It's going to put
Right.
me in an environment that I really don't want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to make me like not happy. And I think it'll just, make me a little sadder than I am now. And I don't think I'll be as happy. I think I'll be losing a lot going to college. And I guess that's a good reason to go to FGCU is because I could just drive up there and do all of that.
Right.
But I don't think it's about the experience for me of that I'll be missing out of college. I think it'll be more of the opportunity to meet new people.
Mm.
And, I might not do anything with the connections, and I probably won't. I mean, who knows?
There's no harm in networking ever.
But I think it'd be a cool experience. And because I fear it, I really want to go. And
Yep.
I know I'm going to work really, really hard because I'm going to be really, really bored.
Yep.
And that's a great reason to go to college. Let's talk about connections. We were going on this a little bit earlier.
Right.
So, connections are very important no matter what realm you are in life. And it doesn't matter who you are. If you think you can ride things solo, you need people,
Mhm.
right? Whether that's to delegate tasks or advice, whatever it may be, right?
Right.
And I have been very blessed in my life to have fantastic people to teach me many different things. I was just telling you, my barber, shout out, I think it's the Barber Academy on YouTube. Super, super cool guy.
Yeah.
He does, he does YouTube, right? And so
Mhm.
he has 100 and almost 50, I think, thousand
Whoa.
subscribers, right? Yeah, he has a good amount.
Good for him.
And so he was teaching me a little bit about how the YouTube algorithm works, how to, kind of get the ball rolling on
Right.
there. And I think that's a great way to grow. I think our YouTube videos by themselves do better than we do on all other platforms, which is crazy to think about, dude.
Yep.
Think about how many people are watching YouTube. Just the fact that we're getting more viewers on there, and how many people really like the audio
And I think it's
or the video.
The visual, yeah, it's a visual thing that really is the driving factor and why that's what we're seeing.
People
personally.
love visuals.
Yeah,
People really love
we have
it.
this nice high definition camera.
Yeah, we're shooting 4K.
Yep.
This is actually the first podcast which we are shooting 4K.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's gonna look great.
Hopefully. This
Why?
should.
Why is this the first one? Why don't you shoot 4K on the others?
Because usually 4K brings the internal temperature too high, and that's what was causing the stoppage.
Interesting.
So a lot of the old ones that never got posted
Our 4K.
are 4K.
That's why. Gotcha.
But
You trust this one?
this
gonna
is
be just
a
little-
lighter setting of 4K.
Mm,
So it's 4K quality, but
not as intense as it could be.
it not as taxing on the camera,
Gotcha.
right? But the quality should look fantastic.
Good.
And yeah. So, wow. Okay, I thought I was tripping for a second. I thought we weren't recording.
No, we're
I
recording.
was losing my brain.
Don't worry.
We started recently.
Yeah.
Well, I guess today. We started to do a notes app for our podcast. We don't really have one for this one. That's why this is kind of struggling for a few topics here.
Well, this was honestly a test podcast.
Yeah, and so if this
See
gets
if
posted,
this
I mean,
worked.
that would be pretty cool.
Yep, that would be cool.
But this one, as you guys will definitely see on here, I'm doing a little bit more camera angles. We're gonna have one close up on my face, one close up on Ben.
Yep.
Then we're gonna have the group together. So that'll look fantastic, I think.
Well,
Hopefully.
We really just need the close diagonal.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the
eventually-
method. That's the method.
Eventually,
The double close
that's-
diagonal.
that's a quick like 9K investment between 3 cameras, just camcorders. Because if we're
Well,
gonna get the sides, well, we could do the
Did
phones,
you see
right?
Did you see the TikTok I tagged you in? And it was like some guy's podcasting setup, and he records. He has like the camera equipment where you can switch between cameras,
Mm.
and he records like it live, so he's editing live, so he doesn't have to edit it. Like he's always switching. Does that make sense? I mean, he might have to edit a clip out or something, but like, he's editing most of it live, which is really cool.
That's really cool.
Really cool. Really time saving.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge struggle because right now, without switching the camera angles, I struggle to edit through those because it's still like I have to sit down and be like, all right, the next 3 hours are gone, and I just need to sit here and watch this podcast.
Yep.
I struggle with watching things back over because I don't know. It's just I've already seen it. Why do I need to see it again?
See, that's something I have no issue with.
For me,
that's
just
something I'm used to.
I'm getting used to, right? But like movies, for example, like I can't watch a movie twice. Like I really, really struggle with watching a show twice.
I can't sit through it a second time.
No,
unless it's Scarface or Godfather, I can't sit through it a second time.
Doesn't matter what it is. For me, it's really, really hard to sit through it again.
Right.
There's only like a handful of things that I've watched more than like 2 or 3 times, which is pretty interesting. And
where are they?
All of the Spider-Man movies,
of course.
But I'm talking like live action. I'm not talking like Into the Spider-Verse or any of the Miles Morales, basically.
Like real Spider-Man.
Yeah. I've watched a show called Your Lie in April a few times.
Yep.
I think musically that's kind of what contributed a lot to my liking of music.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's really it.
Why? Do you think that it really just connected emotion and music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie, at the time I was going through a lot mentally, and that movie was...
Kyle, I got something to tell you.
That show was a very good output for me, and I really just liked that show, and that's me being super vulnerable, but yeah, I really, really liked that show. It actually made me cry.
Really?
Yeah, the end part was really, really sad.
You know, now, was it the music or the show?
It was the mix, because the premise of the story is it's a violin player and a piano player.
Oh man,
yeah,
the deadly duo.
Yeah, so
how to make somebody cry.
And so you get the beautiful mix of both,
right.
And they have beautiful, beautiful pieces on there. Fuck, I can't think of what they're called, but some of Nuhube's sound is very similar.
Yeah,
like his piano
work.
Right. They had some very famous. They had a Claire de Lune in it actually.
Very nice.
I think.
Hey, we got to go back to that fucking Joe's Record Exchange, and we got to go get comics.
I do.
And collectibles.
I saw Spider-Man comics.
There is so many. Kyle, some of them are $5, bro.
No way. Spider-Man comics.
Spider-Man comics OG. $5.
I used to read OG Spider-Man comics as a kid.
Dude, you could probably cop a handful.
I used to go to the local library at...
How are they selling, though? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, I mean, I feel like somebody in the group chat said that comics have been doing well recently.
Yeah, so it's kind of like playing cards, right? So, like Pokemon cards, baseball cards, whatever.
Records,
perfect example. It's anything collectors, really. There's
anything limited.
Yeah, there's some comic books that are really limited. Some of the Supermans are really limited. Some of the Spider-Man are really limited. I feel like those are like the big two per se.
Yeah.
Maybe some Batman. But those are like the two biggest themes from what I know.
Interesting.
But those two do really, really well. There's certain numbers of each pressed and whatnot.
Right.
So if you have like a good one in good condition, then obviously it's going to be worth a little bit. But they are worth a lot more, like a lot more than you think. Like some go for like, don't quote me on it, but 6 figures?
Yeah.
Maybe even 7?
Yeah.
Some people really love comics, and man, if that's your thing, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Comics are really cool.
But I'll never not support somebody's like interesting, weird hobby. That's just me, though.
It depends.
As long as it doesn't harm people, I don't see an issue.
Yeah. Generally, yeah. If it doesn't really harm people,
like if you're just weird,
provoke weird thoughts.
It's whatever. Cool.
Yeah. Speaking of weird thoughts,
Yeah.
I went to Build-A-Bear with my little cousins.
Okay.
And I used to love Build-A-Bear.
I haven't been there in fucking a decade.
I used to go there all the time with my godmother. I loved Build-A-Bear. I don't know why. I loved it. And I went with my little cousins since they were in town. And, I never thought about it as a kid, and why would I? But they were stuffing the bear. And the way they stuff it, it's just very interesting,
Is
right?
it, Kyle?
So they got the machine, right?
Right.
So we got the machine here, and there's this little pipe that comes out right here, right?
Right.
And so the zipper is, or not the zipper, like wherever they tied is the back end of the bear. It's the caboose.
Okay.
So they stuff it in the caboose, and it's the back, right? So it's the back,
Right.
back and caboose. And so they're just, I'm gonna do it for motion, but
Right. Here, I got you, Kyle.
with the bear, they're like this.
You can put your mic down.
They're like this, like.
No, Kyle. I'm saying I will provide you with a microphone.
You got me with a mic.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
Right.
Right. So they got this thing, and it's like the metal pipe box with like the fur or whatever, and they're just like, it looks like they're giving a blowjob, and so they're like going like this.
Oh, what the fuck?
They're like massaging the bear, like wherever they're stuffing in. It's just a very interesting motion, not only by her, but the fact that they're filling it up from behind. It's just,
Yeah, why?
I don't know. It's 'cause it's the
y'all
back
could
thing.
have
I don't
done.
know.
They could have done the leg.
Nah, because like it wouldn't work. It has to be the main body, but like it had to be the way they were filling up. It was a reindeer, so the reindeer one looked really bad.
Yeah.
But like on the regular, like my little cousin got a stitch.
Yeah.
On that one, it just looked like she was giving some mean slop.
Wow.
But
that's interesting.
I don't know, dude. I just thought it was really interesting, and the funny part is that it was my aunt's parents to say something. I didn't even say something. I didn't even notice it. Honestly, I wasn't even paying attention.
And they were like,
But she starts laughing, and then I start laughing because I caught on to it. And then, her father came, and he was just like, "Oh, that looks a little weird, huh?" And then I started laughing even harder. I mean, it's just a really funny moment.
Yeah, that is funny.
But I think I realized this weekend that I might really be like a daughter dad. You feel me? Like
really?
I might be a girl's dad. Yeah. I was hanging out. Well, like I'll definitely love both, right? But I feel like I'm gonna love the shit out of my daughter.
I'm gonna love the shit out of no matter what I get.
Yeah, of course,
no matter what
of course. But I feel like I'm just gonna spoil my daughter a little bit.
No, if I have a daughter, I'm definitely spoiling her.
She's definitely getting spoiled.
And if I have a son, he is taking over the world.
Yeah, my kid's just gonna be a 2.0 version of me.
No bullshit. He will be a fucking kingpin.
He's gonna be bred for absolute success, sales, money.
Yep.
If he wants.
But
he's not touching my money, and both my kids need to realize they ain't touching shit.
Yep.
Figure it out. Have a good life.
Yep.
I'll help you. Of course I'll help you. I'm going to teach, if they're interested, I want to teach them how to make businesses and really do all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But especially my son, I'm going to be really tough on. My daughters, not as much because they're daughters.
Kyle, I have a question for you. You're in a relationship right now. I'm not. How important do you think relationships are whenever we're this age, 17? So we'll say 16 to 19 years old. Relationships, right? Like late high school, early college. I guess if you go to college.
I'd say if you're approaching late junior year, early senior year, don't touch a relationship. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
You don't have enough time left. Sure, you might enjoy a year, but that year's
Why would you do that to yourself?
Year's not worth what's going to come.
You could just prep. You're leaving in a year, bro.
Yeah,
you're literally just going to
have
be
some
independent
fun.
a year.
Have some fun. You have a year left, especially because more than likely you're not going to the same college. Let's just face it. It sucks, but it is what it is, right?
Yep.
The next thing is, if you've been in a relationship for a couple years throughout high school, that's great. That's awesome. You've learned a lot.
Right.
I think you can learn a lot. I think you should enter a relationship earlier on in high school. Enjoy it throughout high school. And if you are able to go to the same college, then fantastic. If not, oh well.
Right.
I think that it'll teach you a lot, not only about yourself, but how to conduct yourself to other people, how to be able to control your emotions a little bit more, because there's nobody that you can get more mad at than someone you've been in a relationship for a while.
Right.
There's times where I've been so annoyed. You get really frustrated and annoyed with people you love because you care about them so much. And so she can get me annoyed and pissed off on another level.
Right. Well,
and I still have to act composed.
You know, if there's an issue, you think of it from, like, okay, this is a real issue.
I think...
You know what I mean by that?
My issue in a relationship is I'm very logistical. I'm very, very logical.
Yep.
It's just how my brain
It's no
works.
emotion with me.
Yeah, I'm very analytical.
No, nothing
basically.
attached.
Exactly.
Like, and you know what? You know what's one thing that I've really learned, and this is one thing that I've learned from high school, actually. You asked me this. I don't know if it was on a podcast or if you just asked me it, but I remember you asked me it recently. What's one big thing you learned from high school? And it's, like, you know, let people do what they're going to do. You know what I mean? Like, people are so quick to be like, beg for somebody back. They don't want you.
Accept it.
Exactly. And let's say they do take you back. They don't want you. They left in the first place. Let people act and don't, like, okay,
don't
bye.
Disrupt.
Bye-bye.
Don't disrupt.
Yep, don't disrupt. Thank you, Cal.
My thing is, life is, think about it as a chart. There's points in a chart in which two lines will intersect, some being a longer intersection than others, right?
Okay.
And if someone wants to choose to go in a different direction than you are currently going, not only might it be better for you that they're leaving, but it's better for them probably.
Mm-hmm.
And to beg for that back, I mean, somebody's already took the time and considered leaving you.
Right.
Understand that.
Right.
And move on.
Right.
It was a really big issue at the end of previous relationships when I was a lot more immature.
Mm-hmm.
I felt
Me too.
very unconfident.
Yep.
And I felt very insecure.
Yep.
And so having that peace was very important for me.
Yep.
And when that peace fell, it was very difficult for me.
100%.
And so being able to overcome that has led me to incredible things. Like, I feel like I now can sit down.
Well, you know what it is for me, Kyle? I'm a lot more comfortable being uncomfortable.
Exactly. I think
and
I've
that's
gotten
huge.
to that. Yeah, I definitely feel that. I can now look back on every relationship I've had.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm young, you know.
Yep.
There's some that were bullshit, some that were not. You know, I can look back and be able to be like, I could talk to any one of the girls that I've talked to.
Yeah.
And have a very friendly conversation with them.
Yeah, I can sit down with them and I can do a
behind
podcast with any of my exes, and I would be fine.
And I'd be perfectly fine.
I'd be cool.
I'd be literally just like
this. You know, bro, facts. Big facts statement.
And
born people.
And
internal.
mind you, I've been cheated on. So
facts.
I have a very self-awareness. And I realized that throughout time that what happened to me was nothing but my fault.
Yep.
Nothing but my fault.
Everything is your fault.
I thought I was a lot better of a person than I was.
Yep.
And I wasn't. And the universe gave me exactly what I deserved.
The best humbling possible.
Was getting cheated on.
Yep.
And from there, my life has literally taken a 180.
Skyrocket.
I started going to the gym. And I was in the gym a little bit, but not seriously.
Nothing serious,
I started going to the gym every single day. Started eating better. I started looking a lot more confident. I started really, really, really working on my mental. Truly doing the work to make sure
training your mental.
Yeah. Really focusing and meditating and doing all that good stuff. I've gotten closer to God.
Yep.
I now have done the look at myself, done the improvements, and then I found a relationship in which I'm now continuing to do that, but with somebody else. But I think one of the struggles with my relationship is that I struggle to find time for a lot of things, right? And so I think for most people, struggling to find time is a very sorry excuse. Because you have the time, you're just choosing to allocate it differently. You need to be able to make sacrifices. So I feel, because I don't want to make sacrifices and don't really care to make sacrifices, I want to be able to balance everything in a decent way, right? And so you can really only focus on about 1 to 3 things truly at a time, right?
Yep.
And so I've chosen to really put at the top of my priority trading and social media. Those are my 2 biggest things that I could care about, and everything else is kind of a consequence. Everything else doesn't matter, basically. And so I am very focused on my dream, and I understand the sacrifices I need to take in order to do that. And so I've now started to talk to people less, not because I don't love and care about them anymore. It's just because I don't have the time to be quite frank. I still want to focus on doing the things that are good for my mental health, though. That's still seeing my friends.
Right.
That's still going out to, for me, going to Cars and Coffee with people or without people, it's something that gets me out of bed in the morning.
Yep.
I mean, other than the gym. But it gets me to talk to people, and it gets me to enjoy what I really like, and it also gives me just like a mental relaxant. It's something that I can kind of go to. I can just only think about when I'm at a car meet, specifically like Cars and Coffees. I'm not talking about the late night. All my brain can think about are the cars in front of me.
Really?
Yeah, because my brain just kind of goes away, and I go into this mode of like, wow, these cars are beautiful. This is a work of art.
Right.
And, you know, I'm not the biggest car guy ever. I love cars, but I'm not the biggest car guy ever. Like, Brian knows way more about cars than me.
Right.
And
Yeah,
he likes them
agree.
a lot more.
Right.
But I still love cars to the point where it's something that does take me away from my day-to-day life. It's something that I can go to, I can enjoy myself at, and I can think about owning one. And I can be like, man, that would be a really cool car to own. I'm going to own that when I'm older because I just really like it. I think it looks cool. It sounds great. And you get this opportunity to talk to people who share very similar interests to you. And for these people to have these cars, they have to be doing something, right?
Right.
So you can learn a little bit of something, too. So even if you don't like cars, maybe go to a car meet, like a Cars at Coffee.
Yeah.
Meet some of the people who have these cars if you want to build connections, dude.
Thanks.
Start learning about cars, and you have a stepping stone, right?
Yep.
So there's this local guy who has an SVJ, right? The green one with a nice
SVJ, right?
Yeah, a nice little exhaust on it and a flame tune and whatnot, right? Very nice car. And I went up to him one time, and I'm just like, hey, man, I really like your car. My name's Kyle. Pleasure to meet you.
Yep.
He obviously introduced himself, and I'm just like, hey, man, like, how did you get started with all this? He told me his full story, which I don't want to go into because I one day want him on this podcast. But he's just like, bro, if you need anything, let me know. You have my Instagram. Let me know. And so anytime I see him at a car event or whatever, I always say, what's up? Like, what's up, dude? Like, how are you, man? And it's someone that I have a connection with now. And I think having that is cool because when you know people who go to these events, they typically don't just go to one. They go to a lot.
Yep.
And so at different car events, you can say what's up to different people because they know different people. You can meet new people. There's a lot of cool things that comes with it, right? I really do love cars, and that's what I love. So moving on, Ben. Where do you want to be in the next 6 months?
In the next 6 months...
What's one goal you want to achieve?
Oh, one goal?
One goal.
In the next 6 months, I would like to have my paper trading account set up, and I would like to start paper trading within the next 6 months.
Awesome.